AM1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. What we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000.
I am Reilly Robertson from Arizona State University at the Cronkite School, here with Douglas Santo. It is a wonderful morning here in Phoenix, Arizona. Quite hot, but still very, very nice. Hi, Douglas. How are you today?
I'm doing very good, Reilly. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. So right now, in terms of sports news, the thing that we have going on most is the Olympics. So, Doug, my question for you is, if there was any sport in the world, in the Olympics, that you could compete in, Summer or Winter Olympics, that you could just magically poof in the Olympics, you have all the skills, you could do it, what would that be?
I think if there was one that I had to choose from, I'll do one summer and one winter. I think in the Winter Olympics, I'd love to do like snowboarding, be able to like fly off those hills and just do a bunch of flips and land it going down the hill. In the summer, I think it would be like track, like the 100-meter sprints. I love watching those just because it's like so much adrenaline for a short period of time. But I love just watching like all the different sports, especially the team sports that usually America's pretty good in. I just love watching their journey and usually hopefully competing for the gold. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's super great to be able to see. I love all of the team events as well. I have always been a huge fan of diving. I don't know why. I just think it's so cool to watch them because I know I could never do that. So I think it would be super cool to be able to do that. And then in terms of the Winter Olympics, I'd probably also have to go with snowboarding. I think that's one of my favorite things to watch just because it's so like the skill level that they have is just kind of insane. And I love getting to watch that. So in terms of the Olympics happening right now, relating it back to ASU where we both go to school, competing for actually the French team, not the U.S. team, but he still goes to ASU and competes with the ASU Sun Devils is Leon Marchand. He set 4 Olympic records and won 4 Olympic gold medals in the 4 individual events that he competed in, which is absolutely insane. I know he's like making history right now, and it's really, really awesome to see.
Yeah, it's crazy to see. Like, obviously, he's not competing for America, but just to see a guy that is literally swimming for our school at the Olympics doing this stuff, it's really crazy to see. And especially just because he's competing for the home team at the Olympics, like the crowd support of him and just how, like just the atmosphere around it all for him.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And he also trains with Michael Phelps here at ASU, which I think is really awesome. So he's kind of like a little mini Michael Phelps at the moment, which is really, really awesome to see. And he's just done an amazing job. And it's been really cool to see, obviously, a Sun Devil do something like that, because I don't think that's really ever happened in history with ASU. So it's really awesome to see that. And then something going on this morning is women's gymnastics and men's gymnastics, actually. So the women just won the team gold. Simone Biles won the all-around gold, and then Suni Lee won all-around bronze. It was really, I don't know if you watched it, Doug, but I did, and it was a really incredible thing. Both the team and the individual all-around was really awesome to see. I mean, Simone Biles is just absolutely insane. Her ability, her athletic ability, and just everything that she can do is really, really fun to watch. And then actually this morning, she won individual vault gold, and then Jade Carey, who was also on the women's team, won bronze. So it's really cool to get to see them kind of dominate and win all of these medals. And I know we have still a couple more events to go, but I don't know about you, but I think it's just really awesome to be able to watch kind of the athletic ability of these women and men.
Yeah, it definitely is. I as well have been watching all of it. Gymnastics is another one that I think is really cool to watch just because, as you were saying with snowboarding, like I could never contort my body in the way that they do, both the women and the men's. But especially like Simone and Suni, like just the way that they're able to do that stuff and go high up in the air, land it, and not like stumble or anything. But yeah, Simone was amazing in the all-around and just showed like why she is probably the GOAT of gymnastics. And then Suni, I thought it was really cool to see Suni kind of like really do her absolute best on the floor exercise in that individual all-around to get that gold medal, because she kind of struggled on one of the events earlier on and kind of put herself in a hole where she really needed to like absolutely nail the floor, and she was able to do that and get that bronze. And then yeah, this morning with Simone and Jade Carey on the vault, thought it was cool to just watch them be able to do their thing, and especially for Jade Carey because I don't think she competed in the all-around, so this was the first competition for her since the qualifying for the vault. And I believe, I don't know if it was the last Olympics or the Olympics before, but she had gotten to the finals but then like fell on it, so she wasn't able to medal or anything like that, so it was a nice little like redemption story for her as well. So yeah, it's just been fun to watch them. And then also the men's winning the bronze for the first time, just winning a medal in general for the first time since 2008. I thought that was really cool to watch because, you know, I feel like in gymnastics, it's always the women that are always one-upping the men. And it was, obviously, they still won the gold. The men got the bronze, but it was cool to see the men get on the medal board as well.
Yeah, for sure. And especially since they haven't medaled since 2008, it was really awesome to get to see them kind of come back into good form and be able to win that medal and kind of get that redemption that they were looking for. Also this morning, in terms of basketball, the men are playing Puerto Rico at 8:15. I believe that game just finished the second quarter, and I know the U.S. is winning 64-45, which is great. They have looked amazing so far in the Olympics. It's been honestly kind of crazy to watch them because you get to see all of these stars playing on one team together, which I think is kind of crazy. You don't really usually get that type of experience. So it's been really, really cool to be able to kind of see that and see what they've been able to do.
Yeah, I think it's been really cool to watch because, as you said, it's all the American stars, and you think of the All-Stars in the NBA, and then picking the best guys to go and represent our country. It's been fun to watch them kind of do as good as, you know, going in, everyone was kind of like, well, they should win gold. Like, they're the best in the world. But seeing them be able to find that success, and I'm glad that you said they're up now against Puerto Rico because I was checking earlier this morning. I saw them losing earlier on. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, it's been fun to watch. And then also the women doing their thing on the other side. I know they crushed Japan early on, and then they had a closer game against Belgium, I believe yesterday or maybe the day before. And then they finished their group stage matches against Germany tomorrow. So it'll be cool to see. Hopefully they can win that and get that number one seed going into the quarterfinals as well.
Yeah, for sure. They've both been looking really, really great. So it'd be really awesome to see both of them either take a medal or hopefully gold for both of them. I think that would be really awesome. In terms of local sports, we have the Diamondbacks who are playing the Pirates today. The Diamondbacks are currently sitting at 59-51. They've looked really, really good this year. I think, especially coming off of that loss in the World Series last year, they've really just kind of kept that momentum going straight forward. They're currently second in the National League West and second in the National League Wild Card. So they're sitting in a good place right now. We're about 3/4 of the way through the season. So they're sitting in a good place for the, just kind of for the playoffs and everything. And they beat the Pirates yesterday 9-8 with, Josh Bell and Ketel Martier, who both had 2 home runs in the game, which is really, really awesome to see and really, really cool that they were able to do that. And they kind of dominated that game, so it was great. And actually, right now we are going to move into a segment by Robert Diaz and Thaddeus Mitchell. Robert is actually going to talk about the Diamondbacks Hall of Fame ceremony, and Thaddeus has some news from Chesterfield, Virginia. Take it away, Corey.
Hello, my name is Robert Diaz of the University of Florida, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Arizona Diamondbacks hosted a pregame ceremony on Saturday to honor franchise icons Luis Gonzalez and Randy Johnson as the inaugural class of the club's new Hall of Fame. An enthusiastic Chaseo crowd watched tribute videos for the 2001 World Series heroes and heard from the two in Q&A format by longtime broadcaster Greg Scholl. Gonzalez and Johnson received their Hall of Fame plaques and rings in front of their family members. The plaques listed their achievements with notes identifying the two as the club's first inductees. Johnson is the franchise's most accomplished player by a wide margin, with 5 straight Cy Young titles from 1999 to 2002, 5 All-Star Game selections, 3 ERA titles, 5 strikeout titles, and to top it off, a perfect game. From 1999 to 2004, Johnson's first stint with the club, he led MLB pitchers in B-WAR at 48.1, strikeouts 1,832, wins 103, and innings 1,389. Plus, he threw 41.1 innings with a 1.52 ERA in the 2001 postseason en route for World Series co-MVP award. He was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015, and he went in with Arizona's logo on his cap. Gonzalez, from 1999 to 2006, meanwhile, is the club's leader in hits, 1,337, home runs, 224, RBIs, 774, and games played, 1,194. He is second behind Paul Goldschmidt for B-WAR, a 5-time All-Star, and the deliverer of the game-winning hit in Arizona's World Series triumph. The two arrived in the Valley in different ways, but quickly became franchise staples. This was a great ceremony, and now the Diamondbacks have 2 greats in their Hall of Fame. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Diaz with Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show. We have some exciting news for Chesterfield County, Virginia. The largest middle school in Central Virginia is set to open its doors this August. Falling Creek Middle School will welcome students on August 19th for the 2024-2025 school year. Chesterfield County Public Schools announced that the construction was completed on time and under budget. This new facility is Chesterfield's first 3-story middle school and stands next to the old Falling Creek Middle School. This new building aims to address capacity issues caused by the county's growing population. Covering a massive 254,084 square feet, this school can accommodate 1,800 students. Debbie Bailey, Chesterfield County School Board member representing the Dale District, emphasized the community's commitment to education. She said, "Now is the right time to replace Falling Creek Middle School with a larger 21st century building. This new building will better reflect the importance this community places on public education." This new Falling Creek Middle School is more than just a building. It represents a significant investment in the future of education in Chesterfield County. This modern facility will provide a spacious and enriching environment for students and teachers alike. One local parent said, "We're so excited for our children to start at the new school. The facilities are amazing, and it's great to see the community investing in education. It's going to make a big difference." As students and staff gear up for the first day of school, excitement is in the air. I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Thank you so much for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. We have a great show set for you today. You've already heard some little segments from our colleagues, and we have a lot more of that to come. We are going to hear from a bunch of different people about a lot of different sports news, such as the Olympics and local news. But we have a lot coming up for you, so stay tuned after the break. You're listening to Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 radio.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Anderson. I'm a sports broadcasting student at the Hanks Greenspun School of Journalism at UNLV. I am stoked to start creating visual and audio segments along with broadcasting and sideline reporting for different games this season. As a writer for the UNLV Scarlet and Gray, I can provide insightful knowledge on a variety of different sports. I am excited to be a part of the team this season and looking forward to kicking off the year right on the Varsity Sports Show.
The Thursday night high school flag football game of the week is back. 8 weeks of coverage beginning Thursday, September 19th. Every game begins at 6 p.m. Join the varsity team as we travel the Valley featuring your favorite teams, including Saturday morning radio segments. The Thursday night flag football game of the week is back on the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to
the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night
flag football game of the week.
Flag football game of the week.
James Out West brings NFL, NBA, MLB, and local sports talk to you Monday night starting at 7 on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I am Reilly Robertson from Arizona State, and we have a great show set up for you guys today. We have a couple segments coming up from a bunch of my colleagues. We have Doug Santo, Nick Anderson, myself, Robert Diaz, and Pham. We're going to talk about a couple different things. We have some updates from the Olympics, such as track and field and USA women's basketball. We're also going to talk about some regional things. Doug's going to talk about the Rattlers playoff update. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Kansas City Royals and how they're doing so far this season. And then Pham is going to talk about the Portland Timbers. We've all been working super hard this summer. It's kind of crazy that everything's about to come to an end. It feels like we haven't been doing this for that long, but at the same time, it also feels like we've been doing this for a while. So it's kind of crazy that we're almost nearing the end, but everyone has done such an amazing job so far. And I'm really looking forward to see kind of what everyone does after this. It'll be really awesome. So without further ado, let's go to those segments.
Good morning. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Last week, the Arizona Rattlers played the Vegas Nighthawks in the first round of the Indoor Football League playoffs and left Vegas with the victory in a nail-biter 39-38 win. The Rattlers had lost both regular season games against the Nighthawks by a combined 7 points, but only needed a 1-point victory as time expired to get the best of Vegas in their third go-around. Arizona trailed for most of the game. The Rattlers allowed a touchdown on a 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line with 4 seconds left in the first half to give the Nighthawks an 8-point lead heading into halftime. The Nighthawks would score the lone touchdown in the 3rd quarter to take a 15-point lead into the 4th quarter. But from there, it was all Rattlers. Arizona outscored Vegas 19-3 in the final quarter. The Rattlers' defense stepped up when it needed to, with an interception that led to the Rattlers' potential game-tying touchdown with just over 7 minutes left in the game. They would fail on the 2-point conversion and trail by 2 points with 7 minutes to go. But the defense got a stop again and held the Nighthawks to a field goal to give their offense the ball with 48 seconds left, needing a touchdown to win. And that's exactly what the Dalton Snead-led Rattlers offense did. With 2 seconds left and the ball a yard from the goal line, Rattlers quarterback Dalton Sneed ran it in for the game-winning touchdown as the clock expired, sending the Arizona Rattlers to the IFL semifinals. Now the Rattlers will host the number 4 seed San Diego Strikeforce in the Western Conference Championship on Monday at 7:05 p.m. The Rattlers split their season series with Strikeforce, losing their home game by 10 and winning the away game by 1. Arizona's key to winning will be winning the turnover battle and limiting San Diego's quarterback, who threw 6 touchdown passes in their win last week over top-seeded Bay Area. Look for Dalton Sneed and Jamal Miles on the offense and Jermaine Dobbs and Devontae Merriweather on defense to be the playmakers for the Rattlers if they can win in advance to the IFL National Championship. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Douglas Santo.
This is Nicholas Anderson from the Hank Greenspun School of Journalism at UNLV, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. With the 2024 Olympics officially kicking off last week, we have reached one of the most iconic Olympic events ever. The track and field games are officially here, and the top athletes from around the world compete on one track to race for the greatest reward of them all, a gold medal. And this medal specifically is part of the iconic Eiffel Tower in France. From sprints to hurdles to jumps and throws, the track and field events will be a highlight of the games, offering a stage of record-breaking performances, dramatic finishes, and inspiring stories of perseverance and triumph. Here are some of the favorites to win this year's track and field games. First in the men's 100, Fred Curley out of USA and Lamont Marcel Jacobs out of Italy are strong contenders. In the women's 100, Shelly Ann Francaire Price out of Jamaica and Elaine Thompson-Hera out of Jamaica are expected to perform well. In the men's 200, the highly controversial Noah Lyles out of the USA and Andre DeGrasse out of Canada are among the favorites. In the women's 200, Sharika Jackson out of Jamaica and Diane Asher-Smith out of Great Britain are top favorites. In the men's 400, Michael Norman out of the USA and Stephen Gardner out of the Bahamas are leading the pack. And in the women's 400, Shanae Miller-Uribo out of the Bahamas and Marlidi Harliuno out of the Dominican Republic are expected to shine. Some of the other events feature the long jump, the triple jump, the high jump, the pole vault, the shot put, the discus throw, and the javelin throw. Now, of course, these events not only celebrate athletic excellence, but also highlight the unifying power of sports, bringing together diverse cultures and fostering a spirit of camaraderie and mutual respect. As the Olympic flame begins to shine, the memories of these spectacular moments will continue to inspire future generations, reminding us all of the boundless potential of human endeavor and the enduring legacies of the Olympic moment. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Nicholas Anderson.
Hi, this is Riley Robertson from Arizona State reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. We are over halfway through the MLB season so far, and the Kansas City Royals have had an incredible season and an incredible month of July. They just rounded out July with a sweep of the White Sox, capping off an already amazing month. They've had playoff aspirations since the beginning of the season, but I don't think anyone really knew that they would be doing this well at the end of July. At the moment, they are tied for both the second in the American League Central and the second AL wildcard spot. The trade deadline has also just passed, which is another reason for the Royals to have confidence in their playoff hopes. Recently acquired reliever Lucas Ehrig made his Royals debut as a closer in the 8th inning, proving why he was taken at the deadline. As of now, the Royals are the only team in the majors to have 3 hitters with 70 or more RBIs. Catcher Salvador Perez has 73 after last Wednesday, and Vinny Pasquinto recently just got over 70. Also a part of that group is Bobby Witt Jr., who continues to be a standout. He has 76 RBIs and has a 13-game hit streak as of Wednesday. He finished July with an incredible .489 average, the best in any month in Royals history. Of the 23 games he played in July, he was hitless in only one of them. Catcher Salvador Perez, captain of the Royals, has been a positive influence to everyone on the team, keeping them positive and looking towards the future. Perez played in his 1,500th career game on Wednesday, going 3 for 4 with a walk and 2 RBIs. The Kansas City Royals have had an incredible season so far and are expected to continue that long into the postseason. This is Reilly Robertson from Arizona State reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, my name is Robertdiaz of the University of Florida reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The USA women's basketball team tipped off against Japan in Paris on Monday. Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart led Team USA to a 102-76 victory over Japan. Team USA took care of business and left no doubt in mind with this dominant performance. Team USA is the defending champion, going 6-0 and winning gold at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. The U.S. women's basketball team begins its campaign for an 8th consecutive gold medal. The team has won a total of 9 gold medals in the past 10 Olympic competitions, with the likes of 3-time WNBA champion Diana Taurasi and 2-time WNBA MVPs Aja Wilson and Brianna Stewart. The strength of Team USA goes very deep. Wilson is having an amazing season, averaging a double-double with over 27 points per game and almost 12 rebounds per game. Wilson is also great on the defensive end, averaging 2.8 blocks per game and 1.8 steals per game. That's over 4 stocks per game. Kalia Copper, Sabrina Ionescu, and Alyssa Thomas are all making their Olympic debuts and have a combined 12 WNBA All-Star appearances. Copper is having an amazing season. She's averaging just over 23 points per game this season and has looked very sharp overall. Chelsea Gray, Nafisa Collier, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young all have a wealth of experience and know-how coming into Paris and have excelled at the highest level of women's basketball. Also returning to the team and making headlines before the Olympics is center Brittany Griner. After Japan, Team USA will also play Belgium and Germany, the other teams in its group, in its hunt for another gold medal. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Diaz with Varsity Sports Show.
I'm Pham from San Diego State, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show with a report on the Portland Timbers soccer team. Portland is currently 8th in the Western Conference. If the season ended today, they would qualify for one of the wildcard spots. Forward Jonathan Rodriguez leads the team with 12 goals and is second on the team in assists with 6 of them. He has recorded at least 1 goal in 5 of the last 7 matches. Forward Santiago Moreno leads the Timbers with 10 assists and is third on the team with 6 goals. With the League's Cup currently underway, Portland kicked off group stage play with a dramatic come-from-behind win over Club Leon earlier this week. Defender Zach McGraw came up with a goal to break the tie in the 90th minute of the game to seal the comeback win. Head coach Phil Neville said, "What you saw tonight, you saw a center back who wanted it more than their players. I thought it was really good to win a game like that. To score again late on, I think, shows that it's not an accident. It's not something that's lucky. It's something that's part of our identity, that we don't give up. We go into that, and they stuck the ball into the net, and we look like a real threat." After the win over an LIGA MX squad, Neville was looking forward to more games against LIGA MX teams because of the atmosphere he saw against Leon. He said, "These games are playoff games. They are games against a level of teams that probably are the same, if not better than some of the teams in MLS. The quality, the movements, tactically it's different. The styles are different. The referees are different." Portland is hoping to get out of group stage this week. Reporting for the Varsity Sports Show from San Diego State, I'm Pham.
Hello, everyone. Stick with us here on the Varsity Sports Show because we are about to have the head coach of the men's basketball team at Cochise College, Jerry Carrillo, and he will be joining us after the break. He's a really awesome coach, and I'm really excited to get to hear about him, about his story, and just everything about him and his athletes. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, this is local voiceover model and former Daddy Yankee stunt double, Mario Malaby. Be sure to DM us your questions for Ask Lucas on Twitter. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Diaz. I'm a sports journalism major at the University of Florida. I am very excited to join the Varsity Sports Show. I intend to cover the NBA playoffs, but I'm open to covering any sport. I can't wait to share my expert analysis throughout the semester and hope to deliver a great listening experience.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2024 and 25. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Listener rewards for you with the KDUS 1060 app. Download today to hear all of the national and local shows you love. That's the KDUS 1060 app.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Reilly Robertson here with Doug Santo from the ASU Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I am here joined by the head coach of the men's basketball team at Cochise College, Jerry Carrillo. Hi, Jerry. How are you today?
Oh, great. Good morning. Appreciate you having me on.
Yes, of course. Good morning to you, too. So I just have a couple questions for you, kind of about your career and about everything that you have going on. So what kind of led you to find this coaching spot at Cochise College?
Well, I'm a native Arizonan. I grew up in Tucson and played basketball in the 80s. And it was a different landscape back then. There was just, the three, Arizona State, NAU, and Grand Canyon was NAI at the time, so everybody kind of geared towards junior college. And anyway, once I stopped playing and got my degree, I pursued coaching and was kind of in a situation where I had some college experience coaching, and then Buena High School in Sierra Vista they built a brand new school facility gym, and I took over as the head coach of Buena High School in Sierra Vista in the early 90s. And at that time, Coach East was a member as a member of Region 1, NJCA Region 1, ACCAC. They weren't doing very well. They were losing a lot, and so the job came open in fall of '95, and I was able to take the program over, and I've been there ever since. I'm entering my 30th year here at Coach East, and it's been a fun ride, and it's a great situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome that you were able to start there so as a young coach, and then you've stayed there for such a long time. It's really cool to get to see kind of how you've built that program up. And speaking of that, so since you've had over 30 years of experience, what has been your biggest accomplishment throughout your years coaching there?
Wow, that's a good question. I think our biggest accomplishment is just the culture of our program and the fact that We win on the we've got a lot of wins on the court and championships, but we've really had a culture of growing young men and assisting them in their lives and getting them set up for a 4-year bachelor's degree and moving guys on to 4-year schools and seeing them be coaches, educators, businessmen, lawyers, doctors. So our biggest accomplishment, in my opinion, is how we've done of creating really good guys throughout our program, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, like my current assistant coach played for me and is currently my assistant coach. The last few assistant coaches we've had here started their basketball career at Coach East, and then they moved on to Division I assistant jobs, had junior college jobs, fundraising jobs at 4-year schools. So it's been a joy seeing these guys mature.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's really cool, especially in your position, that you kind of get to see these guys from so young, and you get to see them move on to great things, such as going to a 4-year school, and just kind of get to see them progress. So obviously, starting at Coach East College as such a young coach in your 30s, how did you build a solid base for the men's basketball program?
Well, the beauty of it, I guess, is it only had one way to go. It was up. We took over 95, 96, and Coach East hadn't had a winning record, more wins than losses since 1978. And so, the first year we went 16-13, which if we did now, we'd be very upset. But I mean, so we were able to be competitive right away, and a lot of that just went with recruiting. I wasn't even quite yet 30 years old when I took over, and so I had a lot of energy and got on the road and really recruited the Southwest. We were able to get some of the best players out of New Mexico and El Paso and Tucson. You're in the Valley, you're in Maricopa. People in Phoenix think southeastern Arizona, Coach East County is next to Bolivia or Honduras. We're so far south, so we really concentrated on Tucson, and then when we went, New Mexico and like I said, the Southwest, El Paso.
Yeah, so kind of looking back on everything you've done over your entire coaching career, what has made the biggest impact on your life?
Wow. That's a tough question. Just, like I said, what the relationships that we built here at Coach East and with our student athletes. For example, this past, the last, 4 years were kind of wonky with COVID, and so we, the Maricopa schools didn't play. The Division II schools didn't play, and we played. But my point is that COVID year, kids got an extra year eligibility, and we had a young man who went through some academic and personal trials and tribulations and bounced back in the COVID year and moved on to Division I level. And he's from inner city Baltimore, and I told him, you get your bachelor's degree, I'm there. And so this past May, I was able to fly out he was at the University of Delaware, Division I school. And I flew out there, and I went to his graduation ceremony, and having his mom, just personally thank me. And if I was still there, she'd still be hugging me. She was just so proud of him. And those kinds of things, I think, have been the most meaningful thing, is to impact young men's lives because you believe in them, and you kind of, give them that second chance. He was kind of like, I called him my dry erase board. You make a mistake and you erase it, and you try and give him another chance. But those are the kinds of things that we've been able to do here at Coach East, being a small people don't understand junior college athletics. What at the junior college level, you spend more time with guys. You're in vans. You're spending more time hands-on than at the Division I level. And with the changes in NCAA basketball right now, right, wrong, or indifferent, junior college athletics might be the purest form of college athletics because they're still fighting for some things. They're not, they're not getting paid. They're not on an NIL. They're just trying to prove themselves. So, being there and fighting with these guys on a daily is, I think, the enjoyment and the pleasure that we get from coaching at this level.
Yeah, and I think you're in such a special position to be able to kind of develop these athletes and push them to the next level. And you're getting to see kind of everything that you get to see them develop and just become great people, which is really, really awesome. So thank you so much for joining us, Jerry. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for reaching out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, of course. So that was head coach of the men's basketball team at Cochise College, Jerry Carrillo. He has had an incredible coaching career so far. I mean, you just heard that he's been coaching at Cochise College for over 30 years, which is pretty incredible. And getting to kind of see his program, how he completely 180 turned it around. It was just really, really cool to get to kind of hear that side from him and hear his story that he has, and he kind of hear the history that he's built over at Cochise College. So coming up next, we have a segment from Thaddeus Mitchell talking again about the Olympics, about the USA women's gymnastics team. Take it away, Corey.
What's up, everybody? I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show. In a thrilling display of athleticism and resilience, Simone Biles and the U.S. women's gymnastics team dazzled during the Olympic qualifying round, despite Biles tweaking her left calf. The team posted 5 scores of 14.5 or higher, with Biles scoring an impressive 15.8 on vault. Biles' mother, Nellie, expressed her mixed emotions after seeing her daughter briefly leave the floor due to her injury. She stated, "Well, I was worried about that, but then I saw her do that Yurchenko on the vault, and she gave me the thumbs up, so I knew she was fine. It was great to see her back in action." Biles' brother, Ron Jr., shared his pride in seeing Simone back at the Olympics after overcoming significant challenges. He said, "I just want to see her happy and confident. She's worked so hard to get here, and it's amazing to see her in Paris." Despite favoring her sore left leg, Biles delivered a remarkable performance, finishing with the highest overall score in the women's all-around team competition. Her coach, Cecilie Landy, assured everyone that there was no doubt about Biles continuing to compete. She stated she felt better by the end of the session. There was never a discussion about her not continuing or altering her planned skills. Biles and her teammates did not stop to speak with reporters after the qualifying round, but Biles' smile said it all. Stay tuned for more updates on Simone Biles and the U.S. women's gymnastics team. That's all for now. I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Reilly Robertson from the ASU School of Cronkite. ASU Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I don't think I'm ever going to get that right. And I'm here with Doug Santo. We've had an amazing show so far for you today, and we have a lot more coming up. We are going to hear from my colleague, or multiple of my colleagues, actually. We have Mac Pham, Nick Anderson, Mark Beurger, and Doug Santo coming to you right after the break. So stay here listening to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060.
Have you downloaded the KDUS 1060 app yet? Download today and get all of your favorite local and national shows right on your phone.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
The Varsity Sports Show is proud to once again be the official broadcast team of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We are back for another year of HJCAC football. We'll bring you the JUCO Game of the Week, on-site live coverage, weekly JUCO report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show, and coming this fall, the weekly Coaches Show with Coach Doug Madosky. Stay tuned for more. JUCO football is alive and well in Arizona. Brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show and the HJCAC.
Hi, hey, this is Coach Bob Green. When I am not busier than a mosquito in a news colony, I'm listening to Vince at the Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
I'll turn those picks into gold.
Wall-to-wall NFL coverage and the biggest stories coming to you from 3 to 5 p.m. The Rich Eisen Show, here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
I'm Pham from San Diego State, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Let's go to the Paris Games for men's handball. The host nation, France, came into the games as the favorites for this event, as they won gold at the Tokyo Games in 2021. However, for the French, it's been a rough start. Shockingly, they started off 0-2 in group play, losing 37-29 to Denmark and 27-22 to Norway. The top country in handball right now appears to be Germany. Germany has 2 wins and has a goal differential of plus 14. They are currently the only team in Group A to have a positive point differential. One of the highlights so far in this tournament was Croatia's dramatic 30-29 win over Japan, which featured manager Gregor Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson was the manager for Japan's squad for 7 years before moving to manage Croatia in 2024. In this contest, Japan took a 18-13 lead at intermission before Croatia rallied in the second half. In the final seconds, Ivan Martinovic netted a score from 9 meters to finish the comeback. The top 4 teams from each 6-team group will advance to the quarterfinals in the Handball Olympics. Reporting for the Varsity Sports Show from San Diego State, I'm Pham.
This is Nicholas Anderson from the Hank Greenspun School of Journalism at UNLV, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The 17th annual Never Forget Sandy G Golf Tournament is set to take place on Sunday, August 4th from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the beautiful ocean course Hakuala in Hawaii. This event, organized by the YWCA of Kauai, aims to raise funds and awareness for domestic violence services. The event honors the memory of Sandy G and the enduring legacy of her Ohana's resilience. The goal is to end domestic violence. Sandy's birthday, which was on May 15th, serves as a reminder of the lives impacted by this persuasive issue. Your participation in this event not only keeps Sandy's memory alive, but also supports her Ohana and futures for fights for justice. YWCA's Kauai was founded in 1921 with their early mission to help young women who have had very few or no contacts outside their home. In their 102-year history, the needs of Kauai's residents have changed greatly, and the works have evolved to meet those needs. Today, their program focuses on women's empowerment, racial justice, and violence prevention and intervention in response to sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse. Now on to the course. This beautiful ocean course at Hakuala is a stunning golf destination located in Lehua, Hawaii. It features the longest continuous stretch of oceanfront holes in the state, offering breathtaking coastal views and challenging yet enjoyable golf experience. Designed by legendary PGA golfer Jack Nicklaus, this course is re-owned for its beautiful layout, winding through mango and guava groves to dramatic seaside cliffs. It has received numerous accolades, including being named one of the world's most beautiful golf courses by MSN Travel. The course also boasts top-notch facilities, including a practice range and teaching center with PGA professionals, and a barefoot mini course for all ages. The ocean course at Hakuala offers something for everyone. The enthusiasm and support has been instrumental in creating a memorable day of competition and community spirit. The YWCA Kauai looks forward to seeing you this weekend for another fantastic tournament. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Nicholas Anderson.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark Beurger from the University of Wisconsin-Madison reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Let's go over the Phoenix Mercury season so far as we hit the 25-game mark for the Phoenix Mercury. Phoenix Mercury have seen a decent season so far at 13-12 overall, 6th in the league, which currently puts them in a playoff spot, 2.5 games ahead of the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. Sadly, their points per game differential is at a -2, so, well, that may not be a good stat. They do have an 8-4 record at home at the Footprint Center, which is definitely great to see. However, they have a 5-8 record away from the Footprint Center. They definitely got to work on their road games, but they have not been too bad recently, seeing a win over the Washington Mystics 96-87 last Tuesday on July 16th. But they have lost 2 of their last 3, so they're looking to hopefully get something going against the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever coming up on the road trip. We have seen a lot of great scoring producing from them, from Callie Cooper with 23 points per game, Brittany Griner with 18.6 per game, Deanna Terasi with 16.1 a game, and Natasha Cloud with 12.4 a game. Their top 4 scorers have been very, very good this year, and they'll look to hopefully their depth can really help, because their depth has not been as great this year. So if you're the Phoenix Mercury, you're definitely really looking for more depth scoring across the board, I feel like. Because if you look at their points per game, while their points per game, 83.8, is not terrible, they got other teams that are scoring way more than them, like the Las Vegas Aces at 88 and the New York Liberty at 86. So the Phoenix Mercury definitely have to work on their scoring, and hopefully their defense, which has been struggling all year, can also get going as well, which I think is a very big key. And again, this is Mark Beurger from the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. College football is right around the corner, so for this week's West Coast Report, let's talk about the Washington Huskies heading into the 2024 season. Washington had a very successful 2023 season, making it to the college football playoffs and playing for a national championship. The Huskies would fall short to the Michigan Wolverines in the national championship, but don't let that take away from the success they achieved. The Huskies went undefeated in the regular season, defeating 4 at the time top 25 teams. They beat Oregon for a second time to claim the final Pac-12 championship and knocked off Texas in the Sugar Bowl to reach the national championship. Washington was led all season long by Heisman finalist Michael Penix Jr., who threw for nearly 5,000 yards and 36 touchdowns, and Rome Odunze, who paced the team with over 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns. But with all the star power on the field last season, many are now in the NFL. Washington had 10 players drafted this year, including Penix Jr., Odunze, and Jalen Polk, who was their other 1,000-yard receiver. The Huskies also saw their head coach Kalen DeBoer jump ship to Alabama with the retirement of Nick Saban. With that being said, Washington will be a much different football team in 2024. The Huskies' new head coach is former Arizona head coach Jedd Fisch. Fisch brought over many of his coaches from Arizona, including Brennan Carroll, who's Washington's new offensive coordinator. Fisch also recruited Steve Belichick from the Patriots to be his defensive coordinator. Washington will play its first season in the Big Ten this year, and will do so with not only a new coaching staff, but many new faces across both sides of the ball. The Huskies' projected starting lineup includes 7 new players on offense and 5 new players on defense, and in important positions. They'll lean on Mississippi State transfer quarterback Will Rogers to steer the ship behind 4 new offensive linemen from the transfer portal, and returner Giles Jackson and transfer Jeremiah Hunter to lead the receiving corps. The Huskies' 2024 Big Ten schedule will test them to see if they can return to the level of play they accomplished last season. Washington will welcome Michigan for a rematch of the national championship game, and will end the regular season in Eugene against Oregon. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Douglas Santo.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Reilly Robertson, and I'm here with Douglas Santo. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the Olympics, just because there is so much going on. I swear there's like a billion events every single day. It's so hard to keep up with. But let's just kind of touch on the overall medals at the moment. So The U.S. has a total of 51. And if we're going, I don't know how you, Doug, like to rank these, like the medal standings. I know some people like to do it by gold. Some people like to do it by total. So if we're going by total, then the U.S. has the most with 11 gold, 20 silver, and 20 bronze with a total of 51. But then if we're going by gold, China has the most medals with 16 gold medals, but they only have a total of 36. So kind of depends on how you want to do it. But one really interesting thing, I think, is that we have 21 medals in swimming, which is kind of insane. Like, I knew the U.S. was dominant for swimming, and there are a bunch of events, but 21 medals is absolutely insane. And speaking of that, Katie Ledecky having 13 total medals, that's also, like, crazy. I mean, she's just so dominant. It's really awesome to get to watch her compete in all of her events, just because, like, the sheer, like, just watching her finish so far ahead of everyone is really, really awesome to get to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Katie Ledecky, she can swim like any race, right? But I thought it was really cool that in the 1500 meter freestyle that she broke the Olympic record in a year that she's still swimming like Katie Ledecky, but maybe in a lot of the other events not quite as fast as in past years, even though she's still like one of the best to do it. But that she broke the Olympic record for that, and swimming 1500 meters just in general, like that's a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure the race takes like 15 minutes, so I can't imagine swimming as hard as I can for a full 15 minutes. But yeah, Katie Ledecky is leading the swimming team and just doing her thing, doing amazing things. I also think it's cool that the U.S. has medals in at least 16 different sports, which I think is really interesting because it just shows how many different athletes and the wide variety of like skill the U.S. sends to the Olympics each year, and being able to succeed in so many different things at the same time.
Yeah, it's really cool to get to kind of see. I mean, I know we bring like over 200 athletes or something crazy to the Olympics, but still just like the sheer like level of athleticism of the people that we do send to the Olympics is really kind of crazy and really awesome to see. So stay tuned here on the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060. We will be right back.
What is up, everyone? My name is Mark Beurger, and I just finished my junior year where I am a journalism student at the journalism school at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I am very grateful for the opportunity at the Varsity Sports Show, and with my sports knowledge and enthusiasm for the games, I will bring an energy to the show to give you all the best sports content.
The AngryCrabShack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. AngryCrabShack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The AngryCrabShack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase.
Hey everyone, I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Ball Springs, Texas, and I am a senior studying radio, television, and film in the Martin Luther King School of Communications at Texas Southern University. I am very excited to join the Varsity Sports Show this summer, and I will be giving you quality news on basketball, football, baseball, and all other sports.
AM1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
We welcome you back to the Varsity Sports Show here on KDUS AM 1060 Radio. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU, joined by Reilly Robertson, who's also from ASU, out here in the studio today on a hot morning in Phoenix, Arizona. And we've had an action-packed show for you guys this morning. Appreciate you listening and tuning in with a number of segments from my colleagues talking about both regional sports and local sports, along with some Olympic coverage as well, as that's the main sport here going on in the summer currently. And now coming up next, we're actually going to get an interview with Vince DeLisio and the GCU powerlifting coach, Dawson Aaron, just talking about kind of his journey to how he got to be the powerlifting coach, going from first competing and now coaching and competing and coaching as well alongside the athletes. And then we'll hear from one of my colleagues, Robert Diaz from the University of Florida, talking about Jazz Chisholm and his trade from the Miami Marlins to the New York Yankees, and what he's done for the Yankees now so far this season. So we will get into those interviews, and then we'll be back. So Corey, take it away.
All right, guys, it is time for the GCU Club Report. We are so excited and thrilled in that our partnership with Grand Canyon University Club Sports is now going into its third year. And, wow, time flies. And we've had a chance to cover a plethora of sports, so many things out there. I believe all in 45 sports now at GCU Club. And one of them, we're joined by the head coach, as well as a participant, a team member of the GCU Club powerlifting team. And his name is Dawson Aaron. Do I call you Coach Aaron? Do I call you Dawson? What do I call you? Which hat are you wearing right now?
Thank you for having me. You can call me Dawson.
Okay,
I just competed, so I got the athlete hat on.
All right, the athlete hat on right now. Okay, Dawson. So first of all, thank you, and thank you for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. You've been part of this program the last 4 years, and when you joined it, it was pretty different than what it is now in the last couple of years, and you assuming some coaching responsibilities. So talk to us about when you came in as a freshman. First of all, where are you from? How did you end up at Grand Canyon University and joining the powerlifting team?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So really, my start is just after I graduated high school, I was looking for a college to go to. And actually, funny story, GCU was last on my list. I applied to about 8 different schools, from TCU to Colorado to a bunch of different schools. And I ended up actually going to GCU just because it was the most affordable school. So at first, I actually wasn't even looking at GCU, but then I ended up there. And then powerlifting-wise, I always enjoyed football in high school. I was one of those players that I really enjoyed the weight room more than maybe the sport. So I would always work out before school, work out before practice, and I just always loved the weight room aspect of football. So then when I came to GCU, I saw that there was a powerlifting club, so I decided to join. And yeah, so my freshman year, it was super small. There was about 5 of us that would consistently come to practice. So it was kind of just like me and a few buddies just working out every day. And then going into my sophomore year, our head coach actually got fired 2 weeks before school started. So then we brought in a new coach, actually, and he helped out that first semester of my sophomore year. He was pretty good. And then he actually decided to quit at the end of that semester. So then halfway through my sophomore year, I got accepted as the president of the club. So that's when I really started taking over the responsibilities of the club. So my sophomore year, there were still probably, I'd say, more about 10 of us working out. It was still pretty small, but it was more just me kind of creating programs and us working out together.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just curious now, as a team member and a coach, what type of administrative things did you have to handle? I mean, what are some things that you had to kind of balance?
Yeah, so like I said, most of the athletes, they just, show up 4 times a week and then do their workout. So once I took on those responsibilities, it was first creating a team program that we could all follow to help us prepare for the meets. And then speaking of the meets, I also had to find a meet. So at least my sophomore year, I found one towards the end of April that we could all train for. And then that meet was all the way in Yuma. So I had to coordinate with our club sports office of how we were going to get there, if we had even money in the budget to book an Airbnb, which we did. So it was starting to coordinate all those factors as well.
You actually, in reading through kind of the recap of the World Championships, you had an injury and you had to adjust some of your technique lifting-wise, and you still ended up doing really well. What was the injury and what happened?
Yeah, so really, I hit my second squat. That was at 252.5 kilos or 556 pounds. I felt good. I was making a 5-kilogram jump, so that would have been 568 in pounds. And then on that attempt, as soon as I pushed out of what's called the hole, so the bottom of my squat, I just felt something in my quad tensed up. So right away, I fell to the floor. I had to get actually carried off the floor just because I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't walk, and I thought it was way worse than it actually was in the moment. I thought, my day was over. I flew halfway across the continent just to not even finish the meet, but I was kind of waiting for that burning pain, which is usually when you pull something, and it never came, thankfully.
Yeah. Wow.
I started to do a little bit of just treatment in the back from just, different creams, walking on it, and it never got to 100%, but it got to the point where I felt like I could push through. So I definitely had to make some modifications. So my bench press, I couldn't really use leg drive, which really helps you on your bench. So I had to add what's called blocks. So it kind of just shortens your range of motion on your legs, which helped. So I was able to still finish 4th place in bench. I didn't hit the numbers I quite wanted to hit without the injury, but still a very strong performance. And then deadlift was the big one, actually, where with my quad injury, I wasn't able to get into my sumo stance. So that's the normal stance I use when I deadlift. So I had to switch to a conventional stance, which doesn't use as much quad, but it was something I never practiced at all, really, in the past 2 years of powerlifting. So it was definitely new for me, but I think the most crazy part for me was I actually ended up pulling an all-time meet PR, even with a new stance that I never practiced before. So
amazing. And also, the future looks bright for GCU Club Powerlifting in that you had a freshman by the name of Faith Anderson that finished 12th. Talk about her progress over the course of the year.
Yeah, so her progress was amazing. So, she never actually powerlifted before. She joined the club, she saw it, loved the lift, and this was actually her 3rd meet ever as well. So it was awesome to see her from that first meet in December to finishing 3rd at Nationals to having the opportunity to compete on the world stage was awesome. And even for her, she hit a squat PR and a bench PR, and she was just seeing really, the work that she put in. Me and her worked out with each other a lot this summer. Just seeing how committed she was awesome to see, and it definitely rewarded her in the end.
Well, congratulations, and thank you once again, Coach Dawson Aaron, as well as not only coach but team member of the GCU Club Powerlifting team, finishing among the top 5 in the World Powerlifting Championships and coaching the team as well.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And if anybody's interested in joining the GCU Club Powerlifting program this year, they can contact us at GCU Club Powerlifting on Instagram or reach out on the club sports website.
Hello, my name is Robert Diaz of the University of Florida, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Miami Marlins' expected sell-off at the MLB trade deadline was punctuated by dealing Jazz Chisholm Jr. to the New York Yankees. Jazz has found immediate success as a Yankee, hitting 3 home runs in his first 2 games with the club. The Marlins received 3 prospects in exchange from the Yankees, headlined by catcher Agustin Ramirez. The other 2 prospects coming to the Marlins are Jared Cerna and Abraham Ramirez. Jazz Chisholm, 26, is one of the MLB's most electrifying personalities and has a combination of speed and power that give him the potential to be one of the league's top hitters when healthy. He missed significant time in 2022 and 2023 with injury. He entered Saturday hitting .249 with a .730 on-base plus slugging percentage, 13 home runs, 22 stolen bases in 30 attempts, 50 RBIs, 14 doubles, and 46 runs in 101 games this season. He was named to the National League's All-Star Game as their starting second baseman back in 2022 before sustaining a stress fracture in his lower back that ended his season after just 60 games. Chisholm then moved to center field before the 2023 season, and he's played there in all but 3 games over the past 2 seasons. Agustin Ramirez, 22, is listed as the number 20 prospect in the Yankee system according to MLB Pipeline. In 87 games this season split between AA and AAA, Ramirez is hitting .269 with an .862 on-base plus slugging mark, 20 home runs, 69 RBIs, and 60 runs scored. Cerna, 22, is listed as the Yankees' number 19 prospect and has spent all season in High A. Abraham Ramirez, 19, spent the season with the Yankees' rookie-level Florida Complex League affiliate. This was the Marlins' second major deal in 3 days and the 3rd overall of the season. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Diaz with Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 Radio. I'm Douglas Santo from ASU Cronkite. And that was a wonderful 2 segments there, interview with Vince and the GCU powerlifting coach Dawson Aaron, just talking about how he got to there and kind of bringing the GCU powerlifting program back into contention with other programs around, and not only coaching them and kind of organizing the program, but also competing with his fellow athletes as well. So it's a pretty cool story there with Dawson Aaron. And then Robert Diaz talking about Jazz Chisholm and the trade from the Marlins to the Yankees. And Jazz is a really interesting player, I think, because he has all the potential in the world. He's got all the speed, all the talent, and it's just getting that to bring out the best production for him possible. In his first few games with the Yankees, he's done everything they could have possibly hoped for. He has 7 hits, 8 RBIs, 6 runs, and 2 of those hits have been home runs in just 5 games so far. And I feel like Jazz's Achilles heel has kind of been his defense and just putting him in the right spot. Because as Robert said, he's played in center field for a little while, and he's also played in the infield a little bit. And the Yankees actually have him playing at third base today, and I believe he played his first career game at second base yesterday, because he just has so much athleticism that you just have to kind of find the right way to use him. But I'm excited to see what Jazz can do for the Yankees. I also think his just the personality he has with the game of baseball goes really well with the Yankees and their fan base. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do there. But moving on from that, we're about to go into the break, but after the break, we'll hear from a couple more of my colleagues. Mark Beurger talking about some Wisconsin sports. And then we'll have Thaddeus Mitchell talking about a sheriff saving the day. That's a really interesting story you're going to want to hear about. And then we'll have Nick Anderson talking about Hot Wheels. And then I'll recap some of the women's soccer during these Olympics. So stay with us. And we will be back from the break in a few minutes. This is the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 Radio. I'm Douglas Santo.
Check out the Doug Gottlieb Show, Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to once again be the official broadcast team of the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We are back for another year of HJCAC football. We'll bring you the JUCO Game of the Week, on-site live coverage, weekly JUCO report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show, and coming this fall, the weekly Coaches Show with Coach Doug Madosky. Stay tuned for more. JUCO football is alive and well in Arizona. Brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show and the HJCAC.
Hello everyone, my name is Douglas Santo, and I am a sports journalism major at the Cronkite School at ASU. I am extremely excited to work with the varsity sports team this summer and bring you upbeat and informative sports stories. With the MLB in full swing, the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs in motion, the Olympics later this summer, and the WNBA underway in the Caitlin Clark era, this summer will be a blast.
The Thursday night high school flag football game of the week is back. 8 weeks of coverage beginning Thursday, September 19th. Every game begins at 6 p.m. Join the varsity team as we travel the valley featuring your favorite teams, including Saturday morning radio segments. The Thursday night flag football game of the week is back on the Varsity Sports Show.
You are listening to
the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night
flag football game of the week.
Flag football game of the week.
Bringing you the latest sports topics weekly right here on KDUS, AM 1060 with me, the Doug Gottlieb Show, 1 to 3 p.m.
Welcome you back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 Radio. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School at ASU. And we are back, and next we are going to talk about the Ultimate Frisbee team, the Madison Radicals. My colleague Mark Beurger from the University of Wisconsin at Madison, talking about Ultimate Frisbee, which I think is a really cool sport. I've always loved throwing the Frisbee around, and the fact that you can do that at a professional level I think is pretty cool. As the Radicals played in their regional championship game. And then we'll hear from my other colleague, Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, as he found a story about a sheriff saving a bald eagle. Thought that was pretty cool, and you'll want to hear about that. So we'll get right into those segments, and Corey, take it away.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark Beurger from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Last Sunday, the Madison Radicals of the Ultimate Frisbee Association hosted their first playoff game since 2018 when they won the Ultimate Frisbee League Championship. They hosted the Chicago Union last Sunday, which saw a double overtime thriller as the Madison Radicals took it over the Chicago Union 18-17 to advance to the Central Division Final to take on Minnesota on the road in the Twin Cities on Saturday, August 10th. But let's go over the game. The playoff game saw an amazing head-to-head matchup back and forth. Saw a first quarter where the Madison Radicals seemed to have control with a 5-2 lead after one. At the end of the second quarter, Chicago pulled in close with a 5-3 second quarter. But then we saw regulation after 4 quarters and at 15 all, which saw Madison having a chance to potentially win the game with 30 seconds left, but could not convert. We go into the first overtime, where in the first overtime it's 5 minutes and it's not sudden death. Saw it end with a 17-17 score at the end of the first overtime. So the second overtime is sudden death. It was a big back and forth battle, which saw even a rain delay towards the end of the fourth quarter. But the team kept playing through it. There was no rain delay, and it was just a very, very exciting game. Vordick, a rookie for Madison, scored the game winner with a catch in the end zone in double overtime to send Madison to their first division final since their championship year in 2018. They will take on the Minnesota Wind Chill in the Twin Cities next week, Saturday, August 10th. it was a back and forth game, and for me, attending the game, it was an amazing experience for Madison. And again, this is Mark Beurger from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
What's up, everyone? I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show. We have a heartwarming story of heroism from Kingman, Arizona, where a sergeant rescued a baby eagle in distress. While working at off-duty road construction detail, Sergeant Gerald of the Mohave County Sheriff's Office had an unexpected encounter. Construction workers noticed a large bird acting strangely under his patrol vehicle. It turns out, this bird was a baby eagle separated from his family. The sergeant, along with another officer, carefully placed a towel over the eagle to calm it down. Then they moved the young bird to the back of the patrol car to cool off from the intense Arizona heat. According to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, adult eagles can have a wingspan of 7 to 8 feet and weigh between 8 and 14 pounds. However, this juvenile eagle, which had yet to develop its distinctive white head and tail feathers, was clearly in need of help. Sergeant Gerald contacted the Arizona Raptor Center, a non-profit organization dedicated to rehabilitating injured birds of prey. They confirmed that the eagle was a juvenile and that it likely wouldn't have survived without the sergeant's intervention. The Mohave County Sheriff's Office shared the news on Facebook, expressing gratitude to the Arizona Raptor Center and hope for the eagle's full recovery. The center helps injured birds and teaches them hunting techniques to ensure they can be safely released back into the wild. Kudos to Sergeant Gerald and the Mohave County Sheriff's Office for their swift action and compassion. Stories like this remind us of the incredible work done by law enforcement and wildlife organizations to protect and serve all creatures. I'm Thaddeus Mitchell from Texas Southern University, and thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, as we got a couple wonderful segments from Mark Beurger talking about the Madison Radicals. An exciting game they played there in the playoffs, and we'll see if they can continue that success going into their next playoff matchup, see if they can get a win there as well. And then Thaddeus Mitchell talking about a sergeant saving an eagle from the underneath of an SUV. Pretty awesome story, seeing the sergeant not only patrolling the streets and keeping everyone safe, but saving an animal while he's at it. And we wish the best for that eagle to be able to heal and get back out into the wild as well. And coming up next, we're going to hear from Nick Anderson, one of my colleagues from UNLV, talking about Hot Wheels monster trucks, an event going on. And then I will talk about the U.S. women's soccer team throughout these Olympics in their group stage matches so far. So take it away, Corey.
This is Nicholas Anderson from the Hanks Greenspun School of Journalism at UNLV, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party is coming to the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona on August 3rd and August 4th. This event features your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks like Mega Rex, Tiger Shark, Bone Shaker, Bigfoot, Gungster, and the new HW5 Alarm. The Glow Party includes a laser light show, effects, dance parties, and Hot Wheels toy giveaways. Plus, you can see the transforming robot, Transaurus, and the high-flying freestyle motocross team. There will be a show at 12:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. on August 3rd and at 2 p.m. on August 4th. There's also special features like the Crash Zone pre-show. Get up close to the monster trucks before the show starts. This pre-show event allows fans to see the trucks up close and meet the drivers in a VIP experience. Enjoy exclusive access to the trucks and behind-the-scenes tour guides by the hosts of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live. Each Hot Wheels Monster Truck live performance typically lasts about 2 hours, including a brief intermission. This gives plenty of time to enjoy all the thrilling stunts, crashes, and special effects, like the glow-in-the-dark action, the monster truck competitions, the freestyle motocross, special appearances, the interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all ages. The Glow Party element adds a vibrant and electrifying atmosphere, making it a must-see for both lifelong enthusiasts and newcomers alike. With its blend of high-octane excitement and dazzling visual effects, the Glow Party provides a memorable spectacle that captures the imagination and excitement of attendees. Whether you're a lifelong fan of monster trucks or looking for a fun family outing, Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live Glow Party promises a night of unforgettable entertainment. From the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Nicholas Anderson.
Good morning. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School of Journalism at ASU, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Olympics are underway in Paris, and one of the many U.S. team sports expected to perform very well is the women's soccer team. The U.S. women's national team has dominated the rest of the world for the last 2 decades at the Olympics and in the World Cup. The U.S. women's team has won 4 gold medals at the Olympics and medaled overall in all but 1 Olympic Games. However, the last 2 Olympic Games had not warranted the results Team USA was looking for. In Rio de Janeiro in 2016, the U.S. failed to make the podium, and in Tokyo in 2020, they won the bronze medal. With a revamped lineup, many new faces, and young talent, the U.S. women's national team came to Paris looking to get back on top and earn their 5th Olympic gold medal. Team USA entered the tournament with the best odds at plus 175 to win the gold. The team is without many veterans who made their last Olympic appearance in 2020, like Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, Julie Ertz, and Kelly O'Hara. However, veterans like Rose Lavelle, Crystal Dunn, Lindsey Horan, and Alyssa Nair are starting to gel well with the young talent of forwards Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, and Mallory Swanson. Team USA is through the group stage after wins over Zambia, Germany, and Australia, and faced Japan earlier this morning in the quarterfinal. Japan had the 4th highest odds to win gold at plus 750. The young forwards Rodman, Smith, and Swanson have led the Americans' attack so far. Heading into the quarterfinal this morning, the 3 combined for 7 goals and 4 assists, while midfielder Lindsey Horan has picked up a couple assists feeding the trio up top. Swanson has led the charge with 3 goals so far, and Smith and Rodman are just behind with 2 goals apiece. Spain and France have the next best odds behind the US to win the gold and will play throughout the day today. 8 of the top 9 teams with the best odds to win the gold medal made the quarterfinals and will be in action today. You can follow all the action on Peacock TV to see who finds their way to the podium. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Douglas Santo.
We welcome you back to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Douglas Santo, co-hosting next to Riley Robertson, both of us from ASU Cronkite. And going off of that women's soccer Olympics segment that I had there, the women's team did beat Japan this morning. That game started about 6 a.m. here in Arizona. They went into extra time. I was actually watching it right before I came over to the studio this morning. And Trinity Rodman, in just before the end of the first extra time, had a nice shot that top left corner. She scored to put the U.S. up 1-0. They really kind of had possession for most of the game, dominated most of the game, but wasn't able to get that goal until the extra time. But we're able to get that win and will now advance to the semifinals. And I was just looking a minute ago, and Spain, who's has the second best odds with the U.S. to win the gold for the women's soccer. They were down 2-0 to Colombia, but actually scored 2, one in stoppage time. So they're now in extra time tied as well. I grew up playing soccer, so I really like watching the soccer during the Olympics. I don't know about you, Reilly. I know some people think that soccer can be a boring sport, and I can understand that at times to watch. But do you enjoy watching soccer? Do you watch them during the Olympics?
So normally, I don't truly love watching soccer, but one thing that I do really like is watching it during the Olympics, because I think it's just really cool that these athletes are getting to, represent their country, and kind of, they're just getting to they're getting to perform for their country, play for their country. I think something really interesting about the U.S. women is that all the people that I'm used to seeing, like Alex Morgan, are not on this team. And I think it's kind of interesting to see just they're still doing so well, even though all those stars that I'm used to seeing and I'm used to seeing play aren't really there. But it's awesome to get to see that they're going to the semifinals and that they're still playing very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, as you said, it's cool to see them still performing at a high level. Because as you said, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, a lot of the veterans that we're used to seeing the last probably decade, if you watched women's soccer, not on the team anymore, retiring or not on the team anymore. But you see younger stars stepping up and really giving the U.S. women's team a new life, kind of new journey they have now, trying to get another gold. And then the men's team also, I think it's interesting at the Olympics. I didn't actually know this, but it's the U23 team. So it's not quite the full national team, but it's the U23, so anyone 23 and under who's competing. And they did make the quarterfinals as well. but they lost, I believe, yesterday to Morocco 4-0. So they made the quarterfinals, but they have been eliminated now. But I was watching a little bit of them, but I like watching the U.S. women's soccer team a little bit more because I feel like they've always had kind of a little bit of the upper hand on the men's team, at least over the last decade or so. But after the break, we're actually going to be joined live by Carl Bender, who is the Mikey's League founder. And Mikey's League is a sports league for people with disabilities. It also allows them to play with other players with the same skill that are not disabled as well. So I think that's pretty cool. So we'll be back after the break.
Hey, Phoenix, Doug Gottlieb here. I'm bringing the best sports talk weekdays to you, 1 to 3 p.m., right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi, this is former NBA All-Star and coach Doug Collins, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Hello everyone, my name is Pham. I'm a student at Santo State University, majoring in journalism with a minor in communications. I'm excited to contribute to the Varsity Sports Show this summer. I'm looking forward to telling the story of a game through an X's and O's perspective.
The Varsity Sports Show is once again proud to partner with Grand Canyon University Club Sports in 2024 and 25. Join us in our coverage of GCU Club Sports on Saturday's Varsity Sports Show and the rest of the week. We'll cover hockey, soccer, baseball, rugby, lacrosse, and more. The Lopes are back on the Varsity Sports Show.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
We welcome you back here to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 Arizona. I am Douglas Santo, joined here by Reilly Robertson, as we're co-hosting together this morning from Phoenix, Arizona. We both go to ASU. We are back here. We're going to talk a little bit more about just the sports going on. Earlier this week was the NFL Hall of Fame game. Kicked off the NFL preseason, and it was between the Texans and the Bears this year. Being from Houston, I do enjoy cheering for the Texans. My team is the Green Bay Packers. My mom is from Wisconsin. I grew up watching the Packers, but I enjoy rooting for the Texans. And cheering them on, especially now with their young talent. But now we have Carl Bender on the line, co-founder of Mikey's League. And Carl, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. So thank you for joining me this morning. And I was giving a little preview about what Mikey's League is, but can you just explain just a general overview of what Mikey's League is, what the organization does, and what sports are provided for the players?
Yeah, no problem. So Mikey's League is a veteran-founded organization helping athletes of all abilities. And what that means is we take athletes with physical, cognitive, no disabilities, and we play sports all together. Some of the sports that we do are basketball, flag football. We do have an ice hockey team. We do floorball, golf. We just finished up our baseball season.
Yeah, that's awesome. You provide a lot of sports for a lot of people that may not be able to play the sports otherwise. And So can you just take me through why you started Mikey's League, and what its purpose is?
Yeah. I started Mikey's League in the memory of my brother. He was born with cerebral palsy and a backwards heart. And we always bonded through sports. A lot of we played backyard, a lot of backyard football and stuff. So he always wanted to be a part of, and with that we would tackle. So incorporating him about be a part of it was one of the biggest things to really change what everybody saw. Was to help people see through his disabilities. Since then, that was kind of like the mentality that we started with, by going through that process. And I'm sorry, got a little off track. But Mikey's League is just taking these athletes and bringing them together and just playing the sports that they see their brothers and sisters doing it. We don't white glove. They're getting the same experience that you would see at a high school level, college level. We go through the same drills, and just really using sports as a modality of showing what they're capable of and building their confidence.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a wonderful thing for the organization to be doing for these kids, for these people in general. And as you said, in remembrance of your brother, and we had talked earlier, and you talked about how it kind of, you like being able to create that relationship with these kids, and these kids being able to create relationships with each other that you remember cherishing with your brother when you guys would be able to play football together when you were kids and everything. And I think that's really cool. Another thing about the organization that I think is different from a lot of others, and really stood out to me, was how the players with disabilities play with other players who are not disabled, but you kind of set them up with the same skill set, so that they kind of feel included and not like it's just something else that's modified so that they can be involved, but that they're involved with other people who they see as maybe different from them, but being inclusive with everything as well. Why do you think that's important?
Because, well, I think that's very important, because it's really about showing that there's not really too much difference between somebody that has a disability and someone that doesn't. It just shows that we're all equal in every way. I mean, there's certain things that I could do that someone else can't do, and yet we try to incorporate that, so it's fun and fun for everybody. I mean, to give you an example, we have this athlete named Jake. He's in a wheelchair and he has strong muscle spasms. He has cerebral palsy. A lot of people would be like, how can he play? How can you make it still competition, fun, and he feels like he's contributing? So what we do is we pair him up as a partner, and he'll go out with a route for flag football. The partner's wearing the flag. Partner will catch, put the ball in his lap, and we don't necessarily want the partner pushing him running downfield, but we allow that to go at somewhat of a pace. Once the flag is pulled off of the partner, we count that right there as they got the flag pulled, and then we allow 5 extra steps towards the end zone. And just doing these minor changes still keeps it very, very fun, very competition. It got to a point where we were like, okay, look, you can only throw to him every 4 downs, because they would just march downfield, because his partner was like 6'5" and had a sling stand of like 3-4 feet towards the end zone. So it was just thinking outside the box to incorporate everybody to be a part of it. That's really what we're about, and allowing them to truly develop their own touchdowns where they're actually making it. It's not giving to them, and allowing those confidence to build.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really cool and important for the athletes to be able to grow in that way as well. And we've got about 2.5 minutes left here. So how can people get involved with the organization, help out the organization, and make a difference for these athletes?
Yeah, well, like anything else, we always love donations. We're a 501c3, so it's a tax write-off. Or you can volunteer. That's just as important. And everybody, if they want to donate or want to participate and sign up as a volunteer, could go to our website, mikeysleague.org. That is MIKEYS league.org, and simply sign up to be a volunteer or donate, or even come out and support the kids. Our athletes. One last thing that really makes me think about how important it is the wins and the losses that these kids go through. It's no different, and it shows, it gives them that skill, I think, that sports has always taught us, ups and downs. So I think it's very important to keep that as our stance on sports. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really cool for the athletes still be able to experience that thrill and enjoyment of sports, regardless of what they're going through or whatever their disability is, being able to still experience that. And for their parents and friends as well, to be able to see that joy from them through sports as well. I think that's really cool. We have about a minute left. Can you tell me what sports are going on currently and what's currently happening with Mikey's League this summer?
Yeah, well, we just finished up our baseball. We're about to start our flag football season. We are looking to be on the West Valley and East Valley. So if anybody's interested, please go to the website. We should be starting the sign-ups here in the next few weeks. And again, I really do appreciate you having us on and letting us share our story and show that our athletes are capable of doing so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you joining the show and just sharing about your amazing organization and what you're doing for kids that are able to play, people and kids that are just able to play sports that maybe wouldn't have otherwise, and just giving them that joy of sports that we all enjoy. So I really thank you for joining us, Carl.
No, thank you for having me. You take care.
Absolutely, you too. So that was Carl Bender, the co-founder of Mikey's League. And again, if you would like to learn more about the organization or help out the organization in any way, volunteer or donations, you can go to mikeysleague.com. And now we're going to transition into my colleague Riley Robertson's segment about ASU football.
Hi, this is Reilly Robertson from Arizona State reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Arizona State football recently started their fall camp and the athletes have been impressive. The coaches have been emphasizing player-led communication to make sure that their team is connected and ready for this upcoming season. Wide receiver Jordan Tyson has been working on his connection with Sam Levitt, who is hoping to grab that starting quarterback for ASU. Jordan Tyson had to watch from the sidelines last year due to an injury and is more than ready to get back on the field and make a difference this season. Sam Levitt entered the transfer portal at the conclusion of last year's season. He joined ASU from Michigan State after previous ASU quarterback Jaden Rashada entered the transfer portal and is now at the University of Georgia. One thing that the ASU football team is promoting this year is healthy competition between their athletes. There's a high amount of competition between players in certain positions such as wide receiver, but ASU wants to make sure that competition stays positive. Wide receivers Jordan Tyson and Jake Smith are both looking to make a difference when they step on the field this year, since neither was able to contribute to the team last year. Both haven't played at ASU yet, but both came in as highly rated prospects and will hope to make a statement however they can. This fall camp is going to be crucial for ASU, as this is their first season joining the Big 12. Opponents will be better in the Big 12, but that is an even better opportunity for these athletes to showcase their talents. ASU football is looking to have a positive trajectory this season, and be able to turn things around from past years. From Arizona State, I'm Reilly Robertson, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome you back here to the Varsity Sports Show here on KDUS AM 1060 Arizona. As I am here, Douglas Santo from the ASU Cronkite, joined by Reilly Robertson, also from ASU Cronkite. As Reilly just talked about ASU football, and I particularly am very excited for ASU football this season. I think last year obviously was a rough year, but it was the first season for head coach Kenny Dillingham in his new era as the head coach here at ASU. But I think he has a lot of talent in coaching, and I think he can turn our football team in the right direction, and that there's big things ahead. So I'm excited to watch them this season, especially in the first season now in the Big 12. It should be a fun one. After the break, we will be in the home stretch of our show this morning. We'll hear from Pham and Mark Beurger on Arizona Wildcats football and Mark on the U.S. Men's Basketball Olympics. So stick around. We'll be back after the break.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, y'all. My name is Reilly Robertson, and I am originally from Dallas, Texas. I'm currently attending Arizona State University, majoring in both sports journalism and sports business. I'm so incredibly excited to start this semester with the Varsity Sports Show. There are a plethora of sporting events to cover this summer, such as the Stanley Cup playoffs, the College World Series, and the Summer Olympics. With all of these events, this summer is definitely going to be a fun one.
Hi, this is Saguaro High School head baseball coach Joe Mickey, and you are listening to the home of the SaberCat Report, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Go Cats!
The Varsity Sports Show live with Vince D'Alicio every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Features all the local youth, high school, college sports, and more, both around the Valley and beyond. Enjoy go-to segments with coaches and players from around the Valley. Tune in to the Varsity Sports Show with Vince and guests, Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and the KDUS 1060 app. Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD Radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
Welcome you back here to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 Radio. I'm Douglas Santo from Cronkite School at ASU, joined by Reilly Robertson from ASU as well, as we're in the final 15 minutes of our show here this morning at Phoenix, Arizona, on a hot morning here in the middle of summer. And next we are going to hear from Pham, one of my colleagues from San Diego State University, as he talks Arizona Wildcats football. And it's a transition year for the Wildcats, as their head coach, Jed Fish, is now at Washington. So we'll hear more about Arizona football from Pham.
I'm Pham from San Diego State, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show with a report on the Arizona Wildcats football team. The Wildcats are entering this season with first-year head coach Brett Brennan, who previously coached the last 7 seasons at San Jose State. The Wildcats are coming off their best season in a decade. Last year they went 10-3 and won the Alamo Bowl game over the Oklahoma Sooners for their first bowl win since 2015. They finished last season just outside the top 10 in the AP Top 25 rankings. Taking a look at the notable pieces on their roster. Starting quarterback Noah Pafita and star receiver Tutarella McMillan returned for another year. Pafita had over 2,800 passing yards with 25 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. McMillan had 90 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 10 touchdowns. The Wildcats also brought in New Mexico transfer running back Ja'Cory Kronsky Merritt. He ran for just under 1,200 yards and scored 17 touchdowns last year. The Wildcats also have 4 of their 5 offensive linemen that started last year returning. Now, to the defensive side of the ball. The Wildcats brought in 2 transfers to bolster its front 7, including linebacker Trey Smith, who followed his head coach from San Jose State to the Wildcats. Smith was a first-team All-Mountain West selection last year. He had 66 tackles, including 6 tackles for a loss. Syracuse defensive tackle Kevon Darton was also brought in. In 20 starts, he had 96 tackles, including 12 for a loss. As an in-house returnee, linebacker Jacob Manu also returns. He had 116 tackles to lead the Pac-12 last year. After a breakout 10-3 season and finishing in the top 25 AP rankings, the Wildcats are looking to take another leap this season. Reporting for the Varsity Sports Show from San Diego State, I'm Pham.
We welcome you back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 radio. Really nice segment there from Mac talking about Arizona football. And I think it'll be another exciting year for the Wildcats. Obviously, like to see ASU take a step up and maybe the Wildcats take a step back. But as an ASU fan, I still enjoyed watching Arizona's offense last year. They were high-flying and were always exciting to watch. Noah Fafita is really talented at quarterback, and he had 2 really talented quarterbacks in Tatiora McMillan and Jacob Cowing last year. Now Cowing on to the NFL, but McMillan is back. It'll be fun to watch them this year as well. Now we'll go to Mark Beurger from University of Wisconsin, who will talk more about the U.S. men's basketball team in the Olympics.
Hello, everyone. This is Mark Beurger from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. The Olympics in Paris has been an amazing sight to watch as the USA men's basketball team, first in the world, comes into the Olympics for the defending 4-time gold medal champs. They're going for 5 in a row this year. This is a big deal. For Team USA, we saw in the USA Showcase before the Olympics, they won those games but struggled a little bit. But they didn't have Kevin Durant playing. But now with Kevin Durant back, it seems that everything is back in control. But let's go over the games real quick that they have played so far in group stage play. Against Serbia, where Nikola Jokic is their star, the U.S. saw a 110-84 win, showing just pretty much dominant across all 4 quarters, start to finish. In that game as well, Kevin Durant saw his debut this year, and it really showed with 23 points on 8 for 9 field goal shooting and some balanced scoring from Drew Holiday with 15 points, Devin Booker with 12, and Anthony Edwards and Steph Curry as well with 11 points each. Go on to the next game, they played against South Sudan, and even though Steph Curry struggled with only 3 points, we saw a much more improved performance for the U.S. against South Sudan than the last time they played the same team, which they played in the USA Showcase, which saw a very close game, which required a LeBron James game winner. This time, now that the U.S. knew what to expect, it was all over. Dominant first quarter, dominant second quarter. Every single quarter was dominant, and the U.S. won that game 103-86. Which saw, even though Steph Curry struggled with only 3 points, Derek White had 10 points, Kevin Durant had 14, and Anthony Edwards at 13 as well. Bam Adebayo 18 points, and Devin Booker 10 points. Their next game in the group phase play will be against Puerto Rico, and they'll hope to finish strong in that. And again, this is Mark Beurger from the Varsity Sports Show.
We welcome you back to the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060 radio. I'm Douglas Santo from the Cronkite School at ASU, joined by Riley Robertson from ASU as well. That was a nice segment from Mark talking about the men's basketball team at the Olympics, and a little update on that. The U.S. team did beat Puerto Rico this morning, 104-83, just showing how strong they've been at these Olympics so far, finishing out group play, going 3-0, and should have a high seed going into the quarterfinals now. And it was a team effort today by Team USA. Anthony Edwards led the charge with 26 points, but they had 7 players in double figures. And Jason Tatum added 10 points, but he also added 10 rebounds for a double-double. So it's been exciting to watch them play and thrive in these Olympics, as well as the women's team as well. Riley, have you been able to watch any of the basketball throughout the Olympics so far?
I have. I've definitely been focusing on the men's basketball team for sure, just because it's just kind of crazy to get to see all of them playing on one team together. And they've just been so dominant so far. But they've been very entertaining to watch, and they've been really good games. So I'm really excited to see kind of going forward into these more crucial games to see how they either step up or just continue. Because if they continue on the same path they're going, they will be completely fine. But it'll be really cool to get to kind of see them continue out this run that they're having.
Yeah, absolutely. I think each game of the group stage they won by nearly 20 points. So they've definitely been cruising through that, and we'll see if they can keep that up once they get to the quarterfinals of the tournament, where the competition should get steeper, but it feels like U.S. basketball is just that much better than everyone right now. Another sport was volleyball that I at least have enjoyed watching throughout the Olympics, both the men's and women's on beach and just the regular court. Both women's teams for the U.S. on beach have been really fun to watch and really good as well. I know Nuss and Cloth, cannot remember their first names, but I know that their last name, that combination, I've enjoyed watching. Nuss is like 5'6". She's a lot shorter than a lot of the rest of the competition, but I feel like she's the best player on the court every time she steps out there. And she's been really fun to watch. And both of the U.S. women's teams have advanced to the quarterfinals as well. And one of the men's teams in beach volleyball will play a wild card match kind of thing to make it to the quarterfinals if they can win that. And then the other one was eliminated, but hopefully the U.S. can get one men's team into the beach quarterfinals. And then on the court, the men's actually won yesterday against Japan to take the number 1 seed going into the quarterfinals. And the women will face France tomorrow. Hopefully they can win that. Whenever I was watching the game a couple days ago, the announcer seemed pretty positive that France wouldn't be a problem for them. And if they win that, they will make it to the quarterfinals as well. Have you been able to watch any of the volleyball, Reilly?
Yeah, I always love getting to watch the volleyball every summer, just because it's like level of athleticism that they have is just something completely unmatched that you don't ever really get to see anywhere in like normal volleyball. So I think it's really awesome to get to watch that. I love how the beach volleyball court is set up, where it's like right in front of the Eiffel Tower. I think that's so awesome. So it's kind of cool. And it's really awesome for those athletes. That's like such a once in a lifetime thing to get to play right under the Eiffel Tower. And they've all been playing at such a high level. The games have been really, really entertaining to watch. And I mean, like I said, I used to play volleyball when I was younger, and I just could not imagine playing at that high of a level. It's insane what they're able to do. So it's really cool to get to kind of see how well they're doing and how well the U.S. is doing, because they're all the teams have been doing pretty well so far. So hopefully we can go on and win a couple medals. Hopefully the men's volleyball team can maybe go on to win a gold. They've been pretty dominant so far. So hopefully that number 1 seed will kind of get them closer to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you were talking about the Eiffel Tower in the background there when they're playing, I remember a couple nights ago when I was watching, Mike Tirico was talking about the sunset in the background as well. And I was like, man, you combine the water, the sunset, and the Eiffel Tower, and you can't really beat that scenery with beach volleyball in the center of it all. But yeah, it's been fun to watch them. And I've just been impressed with the kind of the background sports, or kind of the other sports that the U.S. has been able to win some medals in this year, like fencing and just some of those other ones that maybe people don't always think about, but that we've been able to excel in and have success in. But that will be it for our show today. We thank everyone for listening. We thank to our amazing live guest, Jerry Carrillo, the men's basketball head coach at Conchis College, and Carl Bender, founder of Mikey's League, an organization for disabled people to play sports. Check us out on X at Varsity Sports Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thanks to our producer, Corey Walsh, and join us back next week in Phoenix.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.